DR fam. Hope everybody's doing well. Had a great Thursday. I'm going to talk about DR, of course, like we always do. All right. Before we jump into DR, one thing I want to mention is you see this drop right here, right? This was a news drop, right? And really simple. It was that GDP was 2% versus 1.4% forecast. And I think unemployment was 236, 234, 236 versus 264 forecast. Right, so very positive news for the economy. People are spending money, people are working. Right. In the last few news cycles, if you look at these, every time we have good news from a economic standpoint, the market doesn't really like that because you got to remember that we still have the Fed trying to get interest rates lower. And the only way to do that is for people not to be working and for GDP not to be growing. So the natural tendency is for price to come down during those periods. And so what I did this morning, once the news came out, you see how we actually went up and made a high here for the morning, and we started coming down. So I once I saw what the numbers were, and compared to what we had seen before, I just jumped in a trade. This was a gut trade. I jumped in a short here, and actually rolled this down for like 15 points before DR even started thinking about what was going to happen. So, not saying this happens all the time, but again, the last few cycles, as economic news has been good, the market has reacted to that in a negative fashion. So, if you're aware of that, you just kind of take advantage of it. So, able to do that this morning. So, I wanted to point that out. Let's get into DR. DR, we had a 20 point range today, so right in our sweet spot. And again, if I'm not going to worry about how the setup was. You see our 10 o'clock candle up and down here. So again, if you're scalping and you know what you're doing, you can take some of that action. We came down and we actually touched, went below the IDR low. So sometimes that's the indicator of we're going to go down. Now, if we had closed below IDR, I would have said we would have had a down day, right? But we didn't. We just went down, touched it, tested it, and shot back up off of it. Figured we weren't going to, it never come back down. So I figured it wasn't going to be a down day. Figured we'd be positive on the long term. And so we actually finally confirmed high. Well, let me see. Look, this candle right here. Right, so this candle pierced it. One before that, it pierced it and came back down. This candle actually closed above the IDR. So majority of the time, that's an indicator that price is going to close in a positive fashion. Right, it's going to close above. All right, and so that's what happened on the next candle. We closed above. I actually missed this candle, so we see how we retraced back down below the DR high and went back up. So I actually missed that trade. Which is okay because the price came back down the next time. And on this green candle, price came down and shot back up. So my order's now placed on the DR. We didn't get down to IDR. My order's placed on DR high. And this was just a quick 5 points, right? So, if we're looking at that from, 28 to like 33. So basically 5 points right on the nose almost. And that's one trade. Price comes down. This one did not go below the DR, so I didn't take a trade here. I was tempted, but I didn't take that trade. Let price do what it does. It was another 5 points here as well, but it didn't take that trade. Then price comes back down. Got in on this green candle. Again, same order, 44.28, and this one was a 10-pointer because what this did, if you notice, price came back up and actually went to 37, which was the same high, literally tick for tick of that initial high we had. Okay, and so I was tempted to get out, but again, I'm up. My stop now is at 5 points because I already have that locked in. So the worst I'm gonna get out of this is 5 points. Okay, so I'm okay with that. So I let it play around for a little while, and then I see it, take out that buy side, and then it takes the buy side out, and that gives me my 38. Okay. So I'm out there of that trade with my 10 points there. And the next thing, so this is a buy side, right? We take out buy side. And a lot of times what's going to happen on the buy side is we are going to reject off of it pretty hard. And this is not a DR trade. This is a gut trade for me, because once I see it come back down that sharply, I just jump in, like similar to what I did over here in the morning. I just jumped in on a short, because I'm expecting a 5 to 10 point drop once that buy side is taken out, right? So I actually took 5 off of this one. I didn't even wait for it to come back. It went all the way down to ridiculous amount, but I took 5. I didn't want to chance it, and so once that happened, I was good there. And so I did not take. Let's see, what the next one I took. I think I skipped all this because I did have a meeting today, right around 1 o'clock. Yeah, actually, I know I skipped this because I was mad about this wick right here that I could have taken. Price drops again, and now here's one. I have a friend of mine that I trade with on one of my groups, and he and I always trade opposite. I talked about it before, where if I'm buying up, he's buying down, or vice versa, right? I'm always buying for 90% of the time, I'm buying in the direction of where the DR confirmed. He's always trying to go short, and we're both successful in our own ways. He's a phenomenal trader, and so I put it here. I'm going, okay, I see this price coming down here, and I see the midnight, right? So I'm okay. Midnight, I said, okay, if we break midnight, then we'll probably go down. And he was like, yeah, 44.10. That's where that sell side is. We've taken out buy side, so we should be going down the sell side. Okay, so I take this trade, but I take it down here. I take it below the midnight open. Didn't even really pay attention to this 0.5 fib here, because if you guys know the strategy, that's a rung on my ladder. So my order should have been, once I came down below it, my order should have been right on this rung for it to go back up. What did I do? I'm talking to him, and he's already short. He's been short since up here, because that's what he likes to do. He likes to go short. And so I jump in. I said, okay, well, I'm going to take this short. I put my order down here below everything. Price comes down, grabs it, goes back up, comes down, and then it starts to go back up again. So now my order was on this was down here. So now I'm out, right? I jump out at 2 points. I'm like, oh, this is not going my way. And he was like, because he even closed his position out, but again, he had been short from up here, so he's well in profit. I'm down 2 points. So you laugh at that a little bit, because you had a good day, but still, I'm like, man, this is why we're always opposite, because it just works out differently for us. So I jumped out at 2 points here, and then I did something I normally wouldn't do. I just jumped in, but I jumped into a long, all right? And so, I'm making, I jumped right into a long off of this, I think it was 44.22 is where I got out, and grabbed a long in there, put at the same price, and then that went to, eventually I think got to 27, so I know I got 5 points off of that one. So I just want to make my 2 points back, but it just kept going up, so I was good there. And yeah, so that was fun, and I was like, man, we can't be on the same side of a trade. We got to be on the opposite side, and we both win, but it's just done differently. Okay, and so got it, 5 points there. The last trade I took, what time is that? That last trade I took was at right around 3-ish, right before 3, and it was this. 0.5, this IDR high here. Grabbed that one at 26, and I think that was another 5-pointer. Actually, no, yeah, it was 5-pointer, because I got it right at the top of that top of this candle right here. But anyway, so that was that. Could have took another trade here, but at that point, I mean, it's another fun day, so I wasn't too. I wasn't trying to be super greedy, even though I was being greedy all day. But this would have been another nice. You could have got on the DR high here and ran it right up before the market closed. And somebody asked me in one of the groups around, like, why does price? You look at price every day around 350. Price is going to shoot up or shoot down, right? And if you don't know what that is, right around that time is when the numbers, the market on close number comes out, and that's basically a rebalancing number, right? So how short is the market, how long is the market, and then you'll see orders flood in to make up the difference, right, and balance out the market. And so that's what that is. So a lot of times if we were just if we're just having a good time, you can jump in and grab like an XPX call really cheap, and you can run it from like 20 cents to $1 or something like that, just based if you pick the right direction. So that's where this comes in. That's why this moved. But if you look every day, pretty much there's a move, either a shoot up or a shoot down, just around that 350 time frame. So just another something to think about and look at. Don't if you're not confident in it, don't recommend you try to trade it. It's just but it's just something that the market does. All right. So that's it for today. Again, another fun day. Last 2 days have been really, really fun. And fun meaning making money, just following the rules and taking, not taking chances, not too many chances, but making sure that we're covered, and that, we're taking trades when we're supposed to take trades, and, getting out when we're supposed to get out and things like that. All right. So, hope everybody's doing well. Hope your families are well. Love on them, as we say, 'cause you never know when they might not be there for you to love on them again. So, all right. God bless, and we will do this again tomorrow. Don't forget, I think tomorrow's a full day, and then Monday is a half day in the market. So I'm sure I'll be trading tomorrow. Not sure about Monday, but we'll see how that goes. All right. All right. Have a good one. Thanks.